Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, we're going to do something a little bit different. Today we're going to be talking about fragrances in my collection that feature the note of almond. So if you're into fragrance, you probably know a bit about notes. You may not really care about notes. For me, initially, I never really cared about notes. But now, as I've gotten more into fragrance, I like to kind of know what notes are in things. I don't know every single note, and I don't know how everything smells. But I do know some, and I have found like to be a common vein in some of my fragrances are some of the notes. So for instance, one of those would be almond. I've realized that I love the scent of almond in my fragrances, so that's why I decided to go ahead and start out with almond. I can do some more of these types of videos. If you all like this one and find it helpful, just let me know in the comments down below. And I would definitely do that for you because there are other notes that I've found that I really enjoy too. So if you're interested, keep watching. So we're going to start out with a fragrance that really made me want to do this video. I had kind of been toying with the idea of doing a video like this, and then when I got this one, I'm like, oh, I need to share it. I've had this one for probably about a month now, and it's kind of a cheat. I'll tell you why once we talk about it, but it's kind of a cheat. So the fragrance I'm talking about is from Christian Dior, and this is from like their private line. It's called Feve Delicieuse. Hopefully I said that sort of right. I don't speak French, guys, so forgive me if that was incorrect. But this fragrance has blown me away. I ordered it, so I had never smelled it in store, but it is very popular if you watch any of like the fragrance people here on YouTube. It's very popular, even though it is more of a niche fragrance. But for me, I had never smelled it, and there was nowhere in my area where I could smell it. So I ended up ordering it, and I was so happy with it, or I am so happy with it. So the bottle has a magnetic top, which I really like. It's just a very plain bottle, but it is very nice and elegant looking. So the reason that I say this is kind of a cheat for me is because almond is not actually listed as a note for this fragrance. Now this fragrance does feature tonka. That's like the star note in this particular fragrance. And according to Fragrantica, which is where I pretty much get all my notes from for fragrances, tonka smells like a mixture between caramel, almonds, and cut hay. So for me, the almond is really prominent in this. So even though almond is not necessarily a note, the tonka can smell like almond, if that makes sense. So, oh my gosh. So this one is very sweet, but also it definitely has a bit of almost like dryness in it. Like when they say the cut hay, I think I can definitely smell that because it's not like overly sweet. This is definitely a gourmand, but it's not overly sweet or cloying to me. And it definitely smells like almonds, and even like there's some honey in it. And it also has a bit of a powdery note to it. Oh my gosh, it smells so good. On me, this lasts all day. I've only worn it a few times so far, but it did last all day, and I would say probably at least about 8 hours or so. And on my clothes, it lasted at least 24 hours. So love this. I'm so happy that I took the plunge and decided to buy it. I ordered it straight from Dior. I think that's probably the only place you can get it now. And they sent me like samples and stuff with it, so I was just really happy with it, and I'm super excited to get more use out of this. So this next fragrance is one that when I purchased it, it was because at that time I was kind of trying to find more almond scents. That's kind of when I was first discovering that I liked almond. And this one kept coming up over and over as I tried to search for things. And it is also by Dior. It's Hypnotic Poison. To me, this is like almond and vanilla, so it's much sweeter. It also has like a little bit of almost like a fruity note to it. It kind of reminds me of like a Dr. Pepper type smell, which I love Dr. Pepper. But yeah, it's really good. Unfortunately on me, this is very soft, so I feel like when I wear it, nobody else can smell it, but it does smell very good. And I actually like to wear it around the house. I do wear it out, of course, but it's not one that people are really going to smell on you too much. So if that's important to you, then this may not be like the bee's knees for you. However, I do really like this. I do kind of wish I could smell it more and that it lasted longer, because on my skin this doesn't last super long. Like it probably lasts about 5 hours, which is not horrible, but it's not like I guess when I heard about it, I expected it to be like so much more, and to me it's a lot softer than what I was expecting. The next fragrance is one of my absolute favorites, and this one is none other than Tom Ford Lost Cherry. Now, I know this is called Lost Cherry, so you may think, oh, that's a cherry fragrance. Actually, cherry and almonds can smell very similar. And this particular one, the almond to me is way more prominent and long lasting. It starts out with a blast of cherry mixed with almond, and then it kind of goes just into more of an almond. And I know I'm making this sound very simplistic, but this actually smells very complex when you smell it. I also feel like this has a bit of like spice in the background. Not too much. It's definitely more sweet than spicy, but it definitely has some spice in it. Very, very nice on me. This probably lasts about 6 hours or so. So not the most long lasting, but for me it's totally worth it because I love the smell of it so much. I absolutely love this. Yeah, if I'm looking at all the fragrances here right now, this is definitely my top favorite out of all the ones that I'm talking about, just based on smell alone. The next one I want to tell you about is from Comptoir Sud Pacifique, and this is Eclats de Amandes. Probably saying that wrong, but yeah, all the names will be listed down below. This one I've actually reviewed on my blog. I will list that blog post down below as well, but it is more of it's sweet, but it's more spicy than sweet. So if sweet scents get to be a bit too cloying for you, or if you've like smelled any of these other ones and they're too cloying for you, you might like this one. But it still definitely has some sweetness to it, don't get me wrong. But to me it's more like nutty almond. It's a bit warmer. It does have like a woody background as well. To me, this one definitely doesn't smell like straight almond. It smells like a mixture of things, but almond to me is still the most prominent note in it. So unfortunately, the landscaping people just started in front of my house, but I'm gonna continue on this video. Hopefully you guys can't hear it, but I don't wanna stop and try to film this later, so sorry. The next fragrance that I wanted to share is one that I didn't even know had almond in it. I knew I loved the fragrance, but as I started trying to figure out what fragrance in my collection had almond, I figured out this one did. That kind of explains why I love it so much, I guess. This is by Montale, and it's called Sweet Oriental Dream. I've also reviewed this on my blog. To me, this smells like sexy baby powder. That's how I describe it. I think that's the best way to describe it for me. But it definitely does have some almond in it and some honey in it. And, oh gosh. That's where the sweetness comes from. So it's like a deeper sweetness. It's not a juvenile sweetness at all. So even though it's mixed with that baby powder type scent, it does not smell juvenile at all. I love this one. And this is very long lasting, and to me, the fragrance doesn't really change. It kind of stays the same on your skin all day. To me, it lasts on my skin probably at least 8 hours. On my clothes, it can last for days. The next fragrance that I have is one that I ordered because of the notes in it, and they are almond and pistachio. And this is Girl of Now by Elie Saab. And I have to say, this smells really good when I smell it out of the bottle. When I first spray it on, it is really good, really attractive. It definitely has that almond, pistachio. It smells like, I think there's orange blossom and honey in here as well. And it's just very like intoxicating scent. But I don't know, for me this is a bit disappointing because the pistachio goes away so quickly. The almond sticks around a bit longer, but I feel like it kind of just turns into a generic scent on me after a while. I don't know if it's my skin chemistry, but to me it changes so much that, I don't know, it smells like any old generic perfume on my skin after a while. So I gotta play with this a bit more, but I have a lot of fragrances, so honestly, if something doesn't work out for me, I don't usually give it that much of a chance because I have other fragrances that I know work out for me and that I love. But I am going to try to play with this some more, and if it doesn't work out, I'm just going to try to sell it because I know this is very popular and I've never heard anybody else say this, so maybe it's just how it interacts with my skin chemistry, but I don't know, it's just disappointing. It does smell really good, especially when you first spray it on, but I feel like after like an hour or two it completely changes and it smells nothing like the initial spray. And to me, I don't get any of the things that I love about it. Like the sweetness still sticks around, but then it just turns into, I don't even know how to explain what the smell smells like. It's just like some generic sweetness. I don't know, almost like it smells cheap. So this might be one that I would need to just spray on my clothes more so. I don't know, I was very disappointed because I had really high hopes for this. So the next fragrance I want to share with you is one that I've had for quite a while, that I have loved for a long time. This is like a go-to summer scent for me. I really didn't know it had almond in it until recently when I kind of started being able to pick out almond in my fragrances. And then I realized that this one is full of almond. But this is from Acqua di Parma. It's called Mandorlo di Sicilia. And I don't speak Italian, but I did Google it, and apparently that translates to the Sicilian almond tree. So if I would have known Italian, clearly I would have known this was almond, but anyway, to me, this smells like Dr. Pepper. I love it. It's sweet, it's airy, it's, oh gosh. This one to me smells super sweet. Like, not, I hate saying like super sweet because I don't want y'all to be turned off by that, but it is really sweet, but it is light and it's not cloying at all. Like I said, I feel like this is like the quintessential summer fragrance for me. I'm almost done. I only have like this much left, and this is a 2.5 ml bottle, but I would definitely be repurchasing this. I get a ton of use out of this in the summer. It's not super long lasting, but it's one that I can like spray on over and over. I never get sick of it. For a while, I was keeping it in my car, which I know is not good, but I loved it that much that I felt like I wanted to have it on me at all times. So if I ever forgot my fragrance, I could put this on. I love this one, guys. I think I got this from Sephora maybe, but for some reason I feel like Sephora doesn't sell anymore. I'm not sure, but I'll find it for you guys and link it down below. But I absolutely love this one. All right, now the last two fragrances are new to my collection. One of them I'm wearing today, so I'll go ahead and start with that one. This is from Valentino. It's called Donna Acqua, and this is almonds and pistachio and maybe a touch of floral to it. So good. When I smelled this, I immediately fell in love. So I've only worn it twice. The first time I wore it was only like a few hours, and then today I've only had it on about 3 hours so far. So I can't speak to longevity, but the scent is absolutely gorgeous. Now you may remember that with Girl of Now, that is based on almond and pistachio as well. This one to me is done so much better. The pistachio sticks around a lot longer than Girl of Now, and the almond stays through the entire life of the fragrance. Now again, to my knowledge it does. Like I said, I've only worn it twice. But so far so good. I haven't had this turn into anything weird on my skin like Girl of Now does. So I am super happy with this so far, but unfortunately it's just a first impression on this one because I've only had it for a little bit. So absolutely love. And then the last fragrance is something that I have been wanting, and Nordstrom had a 25% off sale. They initially started with a lot of perfumes on there, and then that quickly went away like within the first day or two. I guess they realized that was too much. But I hopped on it and I got a perfume that I've been wanting, and it was a big purchase. So when I saw the amount off, I went ahead and got it. And I also had some Nordstrom notes, so I got a little bit more off of it too. But this is none other than Baccarat Rouge 540 extrait. So you may remember I did a video all about 540, the regular one, and I kind of mentioned the extrait in there and that I love the extrait more. I have had some samples of this, so this was not a blind buy for me, but I now finally have a bottle. It's still in the box because I held it off so you guys could see it before I put it with my collection. But it has this nice little fancy box and it slides out. And then you got that beautiful red bottle. Oh my gosh, this is so gorgeous. So of course I opened it. Even though I've smelled it before, I had to spray on the box like I always do. And I left it in my guest room. And when I walked in there like a couple days later, like you could still smell it as soon as you walk in. My guest room smells so delicious right now. And that's just from me spraying it on the box, like 2 or 3 sprays. I love this stuff, y'all. I'm so happy to have gotten this. I definitely recommend. I know the Eau de Parfum is more popular, but the extrait to me is just better. We all have opinions. I know a lot of y'all don't agree, but I love this one more. Anyway, we're talking about almonds here. So this has bitter almond in it, which makes it different than the Eau de Parfum. I can't really pick out the almond in this, but that probably could explain why I like it better. But honestly, I can't really pick out the almond. I guess I don't really know what bitter almond smells like, but I know that that is one of the big differences between this and the Eau de Parfum. And for me, I think that's what makes this one just so much better. Anyway, yeah, I love this. I find that with a lot of MFK perfumes, it can be a little bit harder for me to pick out the notes because it's just, they're so well blended. All of the ones that I've smelled, and I've had samples of quite a few of them at this point, all the ones I've smelled, they're just so well blended and the notes don't stick out very sharply, if that makes sense. So yeah, this one does have bitter almond though, so I wanted to include it. Plus I wanted to reveal it to y'all anyway, so I figured why not include it in my almond video. So here we are. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this video was helpful for you all or just entertaining. Let me know if almond is something that you love in your fragrances, and if you have any of the ones that I mentioned, what's your favorites? Any of these you want to try? Anyway, thank you guys for watching. I will see you in my next video. Bye.